Thanks for the F Shack. Love Dirty Mike and the boys.
Hey, are you Dirty Mike and the boys? How you know who we are?
What's this? They call it the podcast?
Morning Good.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, by the way, shout out to Tim's Brave Box.
Welcome to Morning Good.
All right, let's go. We're here with Abe Shapiro.
Hi.
And Jake Timothy. And I needed to just jump in with more energy. Sometimes I'm just like, we were trying to figure out what Chattanooga was. So now that you know what it is.
Now that I know that it's a city in Tennessee, I'm going to have some killer riffs. Just Jake talk for a second, then I'll get back to you.
Yeah. Well, it was, I introduced you guys, Abe Shapiro, Jake Timothy.
I'm Abe Shapiro.
I was, Austin, like, I had a terrible trip, but it had nothing to do with the Austin comedy scene. And it was so funny because it just, when you have a bad time, it changes your perspective on the whole city. Because, like, I had tonsillitis and I was going through a breakup, and I'm like, dude, Austin, like, sucks. But everybody else who visits normally has a good time.
Yeah, I think the people that love Austin are like, they're like comedy dipshits who like have no life outside of comedy.
Yeah. Well, because I wanted to go out, and some of the people were there. They're like, I'm not here to go out and be. I'm like, I don't know. It's a cool city. Like, I want to hit the bars and stuff.
The best part is like the food.
Yeah,
that's the best part of the city. And then
you
go to like the comedy clubs, and you're like, all right, it's this is like an open mic.
Well, at least when I was there were some good comics there.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
What's the
there's
Asian
good
guy on Kill Tony? Isn't he the king of Austin? Yeah, Hans Kim.
Yeah. He's not little. He's a big guy.
Oh, he's big?
He's big dude.
He's muscular, dude.
Really?
He lived here for a long time. Remember
when
Hans lived here?
I met him once, and then I just thought he was like an open micer, and I like snubbed him, and now I'm not welcome.
Now you're fucked forever. Yeah. Yeah, there's some things like that where you. That's why I'm just nice to everybody. Not for noble reasons, but in case somebody does well, you should always be friendly to everybody. But it was like, I got fucking tonsillitis. I was going through a breakup, and like, cause like when that's happening to you, you just go downtown Austin. Like the littlest things will just piss you off. Just like somebody being like, "Hey, you want to come outside? We have a mechanical bull." I'm like, I fucking hate this place. And normally, like, I'm a mechanical bull kind of guy. I'm like, that's fun. I'm like, I like really corny shit like that.
Are you good at mechanical bull riding?
I was one. Yeah, I did my brother's my brother had a fraternity party in college. And I did a bunch of cocaine, and I'm riding a mechanical bull, and I'm like, dude, this is going to show chicks that I know how to fuck, so I'm going to get a ton of pussy. And then I'm on the mechanical bull, and, like, nobody's looking at it. Everybody's like, it's kind of gay that he's riding that first off. It just nobody cares. And I'm like, I broke the new record. They're like, we don't fucking care.
You can move your hips around just how a lady likes.
Yeah. They're like, okay. I was like, I'll show them how strong I am and how good I am at riding things.
I've never ridden one, but every video I see of one of those things, I'm like, I could stay on that thing for like the rest of my life.
Yeah. Well, because it's also like there's always a guy controlling it who's like the mechanical bull controller, and he just basically whoever's the cockiest, he's going to be the biggest asshole to.
He's smiling really weird.
Yeah.
I control the bull.
Yeah.
I will throw thee off.
Yeah. But it's like a guy who, like, whenever he sees like a cocky guy, he'll throw him off. And then a hot girl, he'll be like, we're going to slow things down a little bit. Just beating off under the control panel.
While he's trying to throw you off, he's like talking to your girlfriend. He's just like, yeah, fucking, you think your boyfriend can hang on?
Yeah.
Your boyfriend hang on? I'm on the controls right now.
He's like, actually, that was the weakest setting it was. It wasn't even strong. That was, But
boyfriend's kind of a bitch, huh?
Yeah. Dude, I was talking to somebody before about the amount of times I've looked like a bitch in front of my ex-girlfriend. Like, it's just now that I'm broken up, I'm just thinking about it all the time. Like, I've had 2 people spit on me and like literally spit on me in front of her. Because like one time I was a homeless guy. I'm like, what am I just gonna fight this homeless guy and get my ass kicked? Because he probably knows how to fight better than me because he's fucking homeless. Or right? Or he stabs me, or I win, and then it's like, or there's so many in betweens. People are like, oh yeah, like Igor Martinez is like, dude, you should have fucking fucked him up, man. Who cares? I'm like, dude, that's so insane.
Yeah, that's not. I think most girlfriends would like that less if you beat the shit out of.
But they also don't want you to just. They want you to give him a stern talking to or something like that, and then buy him a meal and like change him and have him be like, oh, and then.
I mean, what happened? Did he spit on you and you were like,
yeah, dude? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I acted. What I did is I acted like it. I didn't notice it at first. I'm like, wait, did that guy? Did that guy just spit on me? Because if he did spit on me, I knew I'd fight him. But I guess I just found out about it. Like,
spit that's in your mouth.
He's all the way down there. He's like right behind us. Like now that he's
following you.
Yeah.
That's why you really look like a bitch if you're like pretending.
Oh, I totally pretended. Like,
watching
I was like,
you like.
I think maybe he just spat on me. Yeah.
Wait, so the second time was a normal
guy? The second time was
guy?
some kids in a movie theater.
How old?
They were like 12 probably.
Yeah, you gotta fuck those kids up.
Well, there was part of me that like felt, I was like, God damn it. And then I just yelled at them and I'm like, I can't even really curse at them because in my mind, I'm like, I don't know. I felt weird being like, you guys get your fucking ass kicked. I was like, that just seems weird to say. So it's just like, you shouldn't do that to people. You understand? I'm an adult and
yeah. You look like a way older man, unless you like beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And you can't physically beat the shit out of some kid you don't know.
Not you.
Even when
actually, no, I think they were probably like 15, probably.
Yeah, but I've had like a group of teenagers. I just walk past them, and I'm like with a girl. It's just like tiny penis having ass bitch. You got a tiny ass penis, and I'm just like, gentlemen, like, like it's all the vaping that's making them do that. Just saying old man stuff.
Yeah,
they kind of got you pegged though.
Yo,
you gotta rep as a tiny penis.
I vouched for my boy to get on the biggest podcast in New York right now.
Bro, I'm joking. I don't know what to do with myself.
You're really the Garfunkel. There's 3 guys here, and you're the
Garfunkel of this trio.
I like the joke we were doing. I was doing like a hood black guy, but he's talking about sex really descriptively. He's like, bro, I'll be fucking bitches like. Dude, for real,
the rhythm of that.
Like honestly, I'd be behind her like, oh yeah. I don't know he's white there, but yeah. It's like, ooh, right up between those butt cheeks.
This is a person, or this is a
this is a character I made up.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
How do you make did you do the noise first and then you settled on the
My friend used to do that. My friend R.I.P. He used to go around your house and he'd fuck different things. He'd just be like he'd take your teddy bear and he'd put it on. He'd look you straight in the face and go, and he'd pull it out and go, and then go. He had the most serious look in his face while he's just like.
Now he's dead?
Yeah, not because of that. But yeah.
He didn't get like some weird couch syphilis.
No, yeah. I don't know why. I always do. I always address the people that are dead, but I'm like, yeah.
I had when Vine was a thing. I had a Vine account called "Can I Fuck It?"
Yeah,
and I would just go around and find an object and just like touch it a bit, and then turn the camera on me and be like, "Yeah, I can fuck that."
Yeah,
that was the whole thing.
Dude, I remember I used to
pretty big account.
Yeah. I remember I thought I would be. One of my friends told me, he's like, bro, we're gonna be so much better at sex because we watch porn and the other guys our age don't. Like in middle school, and I was like, yeah, bro, we're gonna be fucking pros.
Oh yeah, you ever try to do like a porn thing when you're having sex?
Yeah. Like the fish hook where you finger a girl and then you put your fingers in her mouth and.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, kind of a wild move. I don't know, but that's like when the girl's like, I want to be dominated. I'm not like just out of the blue being like, what about this?
All right. Oh no, I for some reason I was thinking you were like fingering her ass.
No,
but you're just fingering. Oh, okay, that's like pretty run of the mill.
Yeah. But I was like, I saw that in a porno, and I was like, I don't know. And then, she's like, don't do that. And then like a month later, she's like, actually, I like. Can you do that thing? I like it. So
one time I saw a porn video where it was a guy and he was fucking this older lady. And he took off the pillowcase from the pillow and he put it over her and then he started pouring bottles of water on the pillowcase.
What? Waterboarding an old lady?
And then he had to like cut it open because she looked like she was suffocating. So I tried that.
Yeah, that's what waterboarding is.
Yeah.
It's just literally you're like just like drowning somebody.
Yeah, but then this like if you do it right.
We used to do it at sleepovers just to like prove we were tough. We would waterboard each other and just be like, it feels crazy. It really feels like you're drowning.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
I used to have a bit that was like, if I wonder if anybody at Guantanamo Bay figured out they love torture. Like, you're waterboarding some guy and he just pops a rod.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're responding, too well.
He's like playing, I may be bad, but I'm perfectly.
Yeah.
Just like a fucking ISIS member just smiling.
I remember there was an ad on YouTube. You know Steven Crowder? Remember that guy?
Of course, yeah.
It was an ad for like his new show, and the ad was him getting waterboarded on his show, and then taking the rag off his face and being like, "It's not even bad. It's not even bad." And I don't know what the point he's making. If it's not even bad, then why are we even doing it?
Yeah.
It's either torture or it's not, and I don't think. What's the point?
Yeah. Yeah, it's also crazy too because it's like, it is wild. Because it's like, dude, these people are like, I wonder how much people crack under torture. I'm very curious because it's like, if you think like in the case of like Islamic extremism, like you think you're gonna go to heaven if you don't. Like it's like I assume the mental strength of those guys is like very strong. So it's like,
because of Allah.
yeah. They're like, dude, they're just like thinking about the virgins or whatever they're like imagining. So it's like I don't know, maybe it works. I'm very curious. I'd like to see a chart on how much torture works because either way, it is morally wrong, and I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
But I am curious. I'm like, but I'm also I don't. I'm a fucking dumbass. Like the ideas I would pitch, I'd be like, how about we just like try to like get them to like it? Like I'm such a non-confrontational person, and I'm such a fucking retard when it comes to stuff that I'm like, have we tried being nice to like I don't. I'm always just like all war is bad. I'm like weirdly a fucking very hippie person. So like for me to be like, they're like, yeah, it's morally wrong, and then like I remember I had this this weightlifting guy in high school, like a trainer I would go to, and he gave me terrible advice. He's like, never back down from a fight, even if the guy has a knife. You just never back down from a fight. And then we were talking about torture, and he's like, yeah, no, I mean, if it saves American lives, you know, you gotta torture people. And I was just like, I just disagree with that. It's against the Geneva Convention. But
it's weird that you're torturing people for information that you can't verify. So even if they say something that's true, you're like, I don't like that. Go back in the fucking battery.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. Well, and it's also like it's for me. It was less that I mean, torture is bad, but also like U.S. citizens could just go to Guantanamo Bay without being tried, which is just like fucking insane. It's like there was people they used to be able to do this thing where if you're a suspected terrorist, they can still do it. They can just fuck up your house, make it look like a robbery, and like never tell you what happened. Like they can never be like, yeah, they're like, I don't know, we thought he had something on ISIS.
Yeah, I mean, don't they have multiple things like Guantanamo Bay? Aren't they called like CAA black sites or something like that?
Probably, yeah.
It's like more than one place where they can just detain you with no like. Guantanamo Bay is like the one we know about.
Yeah.
But I think they got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah. Well, it's also funny too when like, yeah, you're like, what we know about is probably such surface level. But it is interesting when things you know about like it is funny that Area 51 like was totally. They're like, that doesn't fucking exist. They're like, that's so fucking stupid. And now they're like, yeah, don't storm it because it's like we're doing stuff here. And it's like,
yeah, it was like, so funny when they like when Obama like acknowledged the existence of it. It was like big news. Yeah, it's like we knew it was there.
Yeah.
We can see it.
Yeah.
It's not like invisible.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's also funny with like the presidents will just like lie so much. They'll be like, they're like UFOs are not real. And later on they'll be like, well, I mean they are. And it's like just little credibility. I mean, you're never gonna admit you lie. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
I think they like using the word UFO. Like the government likes saying that because it's really vague.
Yeah.
It just means we saw something and we don't know what it is.
Yeah, in the air, flying.
Yeah, but people are like, oh, that means there's like an alien government
trying
to
not
like contact. It just means there's just some shit in the air.
Totally. But when it's the Navy, though, it's like your job is to identify a flying object, and you can't do that. It's like your job is to do this, and you can't do it. So you're like, all right, you know more than me. But then Jason David will send me fucking videos of people debunking UFO videos. Or shitting on Jason David, we just say that he has a terrible imagination. Like, that's my way of shitting on him. Because like he would send me all these UFO debunking videos. It's just a guy on YouTube being like, look, this is why this isn't technically correct. I'm like, first off, this is a Navy video. So like this was verified by the Pentagon. So there's no way this guy on the internet knows more than the Pentagon knows. And the Pentagon's like, we don't know what it is.
That'd be crazy to be you're in the Navy and you have aliens on your boats or whatever.
Yeah.
You like keep finding these UFOs with like dead aliens in them, and that's your job. You're like in that division. And then you come to New York on Fleet Week and everyone just calls you gay for your uniform. You're like, you have no idea, dude. It's literally Independence Day out there.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I bet it is. Ooh.
Yeah, it's wild to think about. Totally unrelated, but I had a very funny interaction on Tinder. So this years ago, my freshman year of college, I blacked out. It was like bid week at my fraternity, so they're like, all right, you got into the fraternity, you accepted your bids, you go out and you black out with everybody in the fraternity. There's a message on the Facebook page of Divinity Hall where I lived and said, to the guy who drunkenly barged into my room last night, your shoes are outside the door. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I went to the room, and it was exactly above mine. So I got blackout drunk, went to the wrong room. I matched with her on Tinder later, and she's like, oh, my God, you were super nice. You were just talking about, she's like, you probably don't remember me. She's like, you were just talking about, your relationship stuff. She's like, you walked in, thought it was your room, and, sat down in, a chair. And then I explained it to you. And I was like, oh, it's so embarrassing, but, very nice to meet you, whatever. Got a girlfriend, 7 years went by. I get a message on Tinder today. She goes, I don't know if you remember this, but you drunkenly barged into my room in college. And I was like, oh, that's so crazy, so sorry about that. And then I was like, yeah. And then you posted in the Divinity Facebook Hall page. She goes, no, this was at Jenny Murphy Hall. And I was like, I was like, what? She goes, this might surprise you. She's like, I didn't post on Facebook or anything. She's like, I think you may have done this more than once. Which, like, at that point, it looks like I'm trying to break into women's rooms and be like, oops, didn't know this was.
That's a good icebreaker. I used to.
It wasn't intentional. I don't remember either of these, and apparently it's happened twice.
My freshman year, I would like email. I did it like 3 times. I emailed girls that they lost their ID, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, but you can follow my Instagram at Abe Shaps," and because that's what you do on campus if somebody like loses shit, because you can find
That
all
is
the
wild
stuff.
to do.
I did get a lady from it though.
Oh, nice.
Well,
Yeah.
she was kind of fat.
Yeah, that's still a lady.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I shouldn't talk about
She's
it
so
like
fat
that.
that she's a
Say that,
man
dude.
now.
Well, it worked worse. than I would have hoped.
You know, like a lady with a little bubbity.
Bro, don't talk about women like that.
Can't handle it, dude.
I can't.
The guy who fucks fat chicks is like, yeah, you just don't even know how.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know what to do with all that booty.
Yeah. Sorry, brother.
Yeah.
You guys can't handle it.
I like Chet Hanks' thing. He's like, bro, if the tits are bigger than the stomach, then she ain't fat. We're like, hell yeah, Chet Hanks. There's a video of John Cena coming out. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I like Chet Hanks more than Tom Hanks, I think.
Tom Hanks is a fucking pussy. I really don't like Tom Hanks. I don't know. It's like every movie he just plays a less retarded Forrest Gump, or he plays some wild. I did like him in Elvis. I was the only one that was like, Mr. Presley. I was like, this guy is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tom Hanks never anticipated living in a world where he had to be like anyone outside of being like Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
Like he thought he was just going to be an actor,
Yeah.
and now he's like a public guy, and every time he's not in character, people are like, I don't fucking like you.
Yeah. He's just kind of like a dweeb. Like, I get that he has like a sort of sweet, whimsical look to him, but he pisses me off. And he reminds me of like somebody that, like, I don't know, like is at your church and gives you like terrible advice. He seems like, I don't know, he seems like a guy that would be at my church and would like, I don't know, just be somewhat condescending and be like, you really need to meet girls here. And then I'm just like, fuck you, man. I don't know.
He's playing it so close to the chest with the Hollywood game, I feel like. And then it's so funny that he got Chet as a son.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's just fucking throwing grenades into the
Dude, those interviews
reputation.
are great. They're like, yeah, so your son's like rapping, saying the N-word. They're like, he's doing a different thing. I don't know what he does.
Did you see the thing on that interview where they sent him to like a penance camp or like a camp for bad kids?
Oh,
They
that
like
sounds
kidnapped
awesome.
him in the middle of the night and brought him there because he's Tom Hanks' kid.
No.
And then he came out speaking like Rastafarian or whatever. What is he?
It's called patois.
Patois? What is that?
Yeah, it's like Jamaican slang, I think.
Can you speak patois?
Abe Shapiro on the podcast.
It's not just an accent. There's like words and stuff.
yeah.
I am the cinnamon of the apple cinnamon Apple Jack's cinnamon guy.
I had a Jamaican babysitter when I was a kid, and
Why is that guy? Why is the cinnamon guy Jamaican?
Because he's brown.
yeah. They're like, we're not gonna make a.
Whoa.
There was weeks where he's like, cinnamon toast crunch. Like, nah, this doesn't quite feel the vibe.
Yeah.
He tried all the different brown people.
Yeah. But yeah, I was thinking about it because I was like, okay, that was my relationship with my babysitter, and I was watching Batman, and I was like, it's weird that like British butlers are not a thing, like in America. Maybe it's a thing in Britain, but it's so weird that like that would be a thing.
In Britain, definitely, it's gonna be a thing. But I guess here it is mostly minorities who are.
But I was like, if I was Batman, it would be that woman from the islands, and I love that idea for being like, cut it out, Batman, get back here and clean your shit up, Master Wayne. The Master Wayne part would get weird immediately. I'm like, that makes it racist, but. This Riddler's up with the nonsense. I only know how to do cartoonish Jamaican accents. I don't know.
Yeah, she's bossing him around though.
Yeah, no, exactly. She's like, yeah, you clogged the toilet. What the fuck you doing out there?
Quit the jerking off in the Batcave.
Yeah. It's so much. Yeah, her just like roasting about stuff.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah, but yeah, no, yeah, you can't have a blackout. It's just weird to. Yeah, it doesn't really work.
I've never been that kind of drunk. The drunker I get, the more I just try to hold it together.
Yeah,
I don't really
you're just
black
standing
out.
like.
Yeah, I'm just like.
Yeah. Dude, well, what was it? I haven't drank like that in years. I was like I haven't been embarrassed like that in a while. And I was like, dude, this is, because the fact she found out, like, I wouldn't have told her I've done it to somebody else if it wasn't like clear that I was like not talking about the same incident of drunkenly barging into someone's room. But yeah, I was like, this is fucking crazy. And I was like, because in my mind, I'm like, what are the chances that the same woman whose room I drunkenly barged into years later is in New York City and we match on Tinder? And now I'm like, well, I guess the chances are that I would get blackout drunk and act like a fucking idiot. And the chance of that happening is like, I guess, common. One of my brother's friends it happened to too. He went into the wrong house completely. And he was like, apparently he was like, dude, why is the key just like not working? And then he ran and a cop like went after him and like he was riding his bike and the cop like out of the cop window like put his arm and threw him on the ground. And he was in like a drunk cell for like the whole night. And he said he would just hear the cop tell the same story to a different cop that came in. He's like, bro, this fucking kid, I fucking threw him off his goddamn bicycle acting like an idiot. And he said it was just the worst torture just hearing somebody shit talk you.
Yeah, like really like love that he did that.
Oh yeah.
Fucking beat the shit out of this kid. I win.
Yeah. I've never been arrested. Have you guys been arrested?
By park rangers. I stole.
Huh, they can do that?
Yeah, well, they put us in like the park holding area
Okay.
because we stole a lifeguard boat, and we took it out on Lake Michigan.
That's fucking badass, dude.
It was awesome.
That's like an adventure. You guys are like the Goonies.
Well, then I told everybody that they like handcuffed us and put us in a cell.
Yeah.
And,
They were just like, all right, call your parents.
before, like we were rowing it in because we saw they were like flashing lights to tell us to come in. So before, as we were going, we were like, hey, if anyone asks, we got arrested, and they put us in a cell, and it was a huge deal.
Yeah.
And then we agreed on the story, and now everybody at Grand Blanc High School thinks that I did that.
Still, everyone that goes there now,
I'm
you
a
just go
legend.
back there and like stand in the parking lot. And you're like, I want to hear a crazy story. These are the kind of legends that went to this school.
Yeah.
You kids don't even know. You kids are so lame with your vaping and your phones.
I mean, I didn't get like handcuffed and whatever, but I got like a public urination thing, and I had to do community service and pay a huge fine.
Oh, that sucks.
I had to do like 40 hours, and then I had to do an extra 40 hours because I offended the woman who had to sign off on my hours.
Yeah.
And
What'd you do to the woman?
I like thought she was like trying, like a guy that I worked with told me that she has sex with the college kids that get it charged with this, and she'll
So you
like
try to fuck her?
sign off on your hours. And she invited me to dinner at her house. And I like said something about, I was like, I'm actually not like comfortable with that arrangement. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, like Derek told me, like, and she was like, oh no.
You said Derek told me?
Derek, the guy I worked with, was like 40, like, and he just was like a guy who lived in this town who would just constantly get like a drunken disorderly thing and have to work at the Salvation Army for 80 hours.
Yeah.
So he was like, I know all the fucking ins and outs.
Yeah. And that woman likes it in and out.
Yeah, and she was a lesbian. She had like a wife.
Oh, really?
What was she? You just like made a good impression on her? She just wanted to hang out?
She would like, I was like 19 or 18
like a
or
troubled
something,
youth.
and she was like, you can come have dinner at my house and we'll like talk about, try to like make sure you don't do something like this again. And I was told, he was like, she's gonna just ask you to eat her pussy when you get there. And I was like, I don't feel totally comfortable,
Eating your
honestly.
pussy?
Eating you out, you're a little older.
That'd be so funny. You're just going over the top. You're like, it would gross me out. I don't want to. I could tough it out, but I'd probably throw up in my own mouth, and I just don't want to do that here. And while she's just like not even.
Yeah, I was like I hated where I was. I hated being in college. I was just drinking all the time, and I was just like miserable. Didn't go to class ever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I would just kill myself if I did that.
If
Like,
you ate a pussy.
to get out of like the last 20 hours of my community service.
Yeah.
It's kind of a good way to do community service. Like if you're a handsome guy,
Yeah.
you just go to a nursing home and have
Just
to
fuck
like
old
pleasure
ladies.
the ladies.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. If I was just like fingering her or something, I would have done that. I have no
Yeah.
problem with that. It's just my hands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's a more of an investment to really get in there.
Dude, yeah.
And
I was talking to somebody
I
else.
said to her, and then she like didn't sign off on the last half of my thing. She's like, you have to just keep coming back. Do an extra like 40 hours.
Ugh.
And so I did all that.
What did you specifically say to her that implied like this? Did you really imply that you don't have sex with her?
I told her what Derek said
Oh,
to me,
yeah.
and I was like, I'm not comfortable, honestly, doing that. Like if that's what that is, I don't want to go. And she's like, it's not at all what that is. I was like, oh, shit.
Well, it's also funny because like when you're a kid, you're watching so much porn that in your mind, you're like every scenario when the teachers ask you to stay after class, you're like, all right, I guess I'll fuck this chick. Like you think everything's a porno. Like,
Oh yeah, and I was 18 or something, and I was just like, clearly this is what happens. I'm a young man in the world now. I don't live with my mom.
Yeah.
Bro, I started
Everything is gonna be sex all the time.
I started watching porn in 6th grade, and I had like a really hot teacher. And I would stay after class, and in my mind, I'd be like, yeah, she's trying to fuck me.
Yeah.
Braces, 12-year-old with a lisp, but she's trying to get some of this.
Yeah.
I had a super hot teacher, and she was like 23.
Damn, what's her
I
at?
was like 16. I was like, you're like fucking my age. This is bananas. And she would like talk to me a little extra.
Yeah.
And I never took it as like she wants to fuck me, but I was always like, she clearly is taking some kind of an interest to me.
Yeah.
And it was just she thought I was like a trouble.
Oh yeah.
She just was sincerely like, what's wrong?
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
time, and I'm like, pretty hard.
Yeah. Well, dude, it is weird though, because it's like you hear all the stories, and then like I was talking to some like hot chick one time, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm a teacher." She's like, "I don't want to teach high school though, because it's like it's really tempting to like try to fuck those like 18-year-old kids." And I'm like,
Really?
Yeah.
That's what she said?
Yeah.
I would think it'd be the opposite. She'd be like, I don't want to like be around these horny ass
kids who are trying to fuck me.
Yeah. No, I think it's a weird thing. I think it's so mixed because there's such obviously like women typically like older guys, but I think there's everything goes every way. You know what I mean? It's like I think there's like so many women that want to fuck younger guys.
There's someone for everything. Someone who does everything.
I think the people who are attracted to teaching have like a predetermination to want to fuck like 16-year-old, not 12.
Yeah.
Did you have like teachers who were?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Did you have one did you have the guy or the girl? Like, were you in their class?
No. Well, there was one in middle school. He was a he's like a Latin teacher, and he like totally got to catch a predator. He like texted the girl like, translate this out of Latin. It was like, I want to see you naked or something like that. And then he showed up he's like, tell your parents you're sneaking out. And he shows up to a parking lot.
Where he said it in Latin?
Yeah, well, he's a Latin teacher, so he goes, yeah, can you translate this out of Latin? I mean, kind of game a little bit. To be honest, I'm like, that's kind of smooth for fucking. Yeah, he fucking like he went to go meet the girl in a parking lot, and the cops obviously come and like arrest him. And his mugshot, he had his goggle tan on because he was also like a swim coach. So it looks like a fucking idiot.
There was like I think she was like the year before I was in high school. There was like an Italian teacher she would like send nudes to seniors a lot. I don't know if any of them were like under 18.
See, there's the things I would like pray to God to. Like I literally beg God, please, can I fuck my teacher? Like I'd be like, please. I had weird OCD. I thought that our masturbating God would give me bad luck, but I thought like God was like cool with me banging chicks. I thought it was a weird thing where he's like, I don't want to support loserness. He's like, I want you to be out there, Michael.
I used to try to make myself have lucid dreams of the teachers I wanted to fuck. So I would like keep dream journals, and like I would look at a picture of them as I was falling asleep. I was like,
staring at it before bed. Like, don't come in here, Dad. Just like eyes as open as possible.
I think when I had like a fantasy about like, oh man, some of my teachers are like really hot. But I was always like, I was such an anxious kid that I was like, if that ever came to pass, I would just not be able to do it.
Really? I was prepared.
I would just freak the fuck out.
I asked out a woman to work
I'm
the
a
front.
kid.
Oh, no. I would there was a kid below me who one of the teachers, she was hot, and she was trying to fuck one of the students, and she got fired for it. But he like told all his friends, and I was so mad at the guy. Like he was like my mortal enemy. I'm like, you had the most beautiful opportunity given to you, and you fucked it up. I was like, you just pissed on every teenage boy's dream, and you should go to hell. I hated the guy because of it.
How old was
I think
the
the
kid?
best
I think
case
he
scenario.
was like 16 or 17. She was like hot, and she was like trying to fuck him, and then he told everybody about it and got her in trouble.
I think the best case scenario. I mean, don't tell everyone about it and get her in trouble. But like your teacher tries to fuck you, and then like she gets caught.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't happen, and so you just know your whole life. You're like, fuck, I could have fucked that teacher.
Because it is disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, like
is
obviously
like-
now that I'm an adult, I'm like, oh yeah, that teacher should have obviously been fired. That's like a terrible thing to do.
Horrible.
Yeah. But when I was a kid, I was just like, come on, why won't these adults molest me? They're hot chicks. Like I wanted that. I was like, yeah. But they probably would have fucked my life up if that would happen. I probably would not have been.
Oh, one time was kind of a DJ in like high school. I like DJ'd like the football games and stuff.
Yeah.
And then one time I DJ'd.
Was that cool at your school?
No.
Yeah, because in my
It
school,
was super
people would have
duper
hated.
lame.
People would have been like, "That guy sucks."
I just played Mr. Brightside like 4 times a game. People loved it. But I DJ'd this like 30-year high school reunion for my high school.
Yeah.
And this woman who would like covered in tattoos, she was like a gross but like in shape cougar.
Yeah.
Like you could tell how, a lot of miles on that girl.
Yeah.
But so she kept walking by a fan that was by the booth, and the fan would blow up her thing, and she was just no underwear. And
Did you
she would
see her
wink.
pussy?
Yeah, and I saw her ass, and
Oh my
she would
God.
just wink at me, and then she came up to me and like did like a bend down,
Yeah.
and I was 15,
Yeah.
and like looked 15. And then she was like, "How old are you?" And I was like 15. She was like, "Too young," and she went like this.
Is this a real story?
Yeah,
Damn.
it was probably the best.
It's
day
so
of my
funny too because my mind. You know, a second ago I was saying like those women are disgusting, should be thrown in jail. Immediately I was like, what a cool chick. Like I changed my mind. Now that you play out a fun scenario, I'm like, I wish I was 15 and there was a
Oh.
40-year-old woman.
I mean, like even
I am
when
kind of reverse pedophile like that. Like I really do like the idea of me dressing up like a little boy. Like, what's going on? She's like, you're getting this
Oh,
pussy.
you're a mommy guy. Have you ever called a little girl mommy?
Yeah, I've done it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
That's fucking
Yeah.
gross.
I've given it. I've like given that a shot, and the second it came out of my mouth, I was like, I'm out of the situation. dude. I can't.
But I'm both. Like I'll do whatever role. Like I don't really care. I'll dominate women. I'll get dominated. But it is funny that I was like, yeah. It's a weird thing.
That's what I take from porn. I don't try the moves usually. I try to say the stuff, and I really can't. Like I just cringe too hard. Like one time, I said "come for daddy," and then I like,
dude, you just made me want to throw up.
I know, I lost-
That disgusted me so much.
I was like 16. I lost my erection, and I just couldn't perform after that. It was terrible.
You don't even have like the voice.
No,
at
I have
all.
Greg from Succession voice.
Yeah. Your voice is too gentle.
I know.
come for daddy.
It's like Morty saying it from Rick and Morty.
Yeah, a lot of times when a girl likes me, it's because I'm quiet. They like think that's like mysterious. And then if we're having sex and she wants me to like say stuff, I'm just like, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
You're so pretty.
Give me
You
the
ever pull out
booty.
that one?
Is it? So it's good.
Yeah.
Sure, having a good time.
Yeah. For me, it's
Exactly.
impossible to not ask a girl if she came. I know you're not supposed to be like, hey, did you come? But it's impossible for me not to be like, was that? Okay, that wasn't it. Okay. Because it's like, I'm like, I want to.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't because they don't like it.
Yeah.
They don't when you ask that because they're like, I mean, probably not.
Yeah.
Nah, speak for yourself. Every girl I ever fucked came.
Sure, dude.
What, did you
Like
real quick?
three,
When
four
you,
I
when you were
try.
DJing,
I try pretty hard.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be like, did it happen in it? Because they
Yeah.
fucking hate it. They don't like that.
You just hint to it. You're like, so we both had a equally good time there, huh?
Yeah. When you were
Did you come for daddy? So, come for daddy.
well, we were talking about the role play I love. We were doing the other day. He asked me, he's like, "Have you ever hooked up with a girl on her lunch break?" And we're talking about like a girl who works from home, and you come in and you're like doing like a Southern Creole chef. You're like, "Oh, it's time for eating. Open your mouth." Just dressed like dressed like a prison chef, just like doing like, "How about you open it? We got some leftovers today." Yeah.
I heard you was hungry. Door isn't even open yet.
Yeah.
You just like you hear her walking towards the door.
Yeah. Put your dick in a hot tub and pouring ketchup on it and be like, take me out to the ball game.
You're like, yeah, I actually got to get back to the grind.
Yeah.
You can come back another time.
We got steak and eggs.
I'll come back for the dinner special. Like, no, just don't come back.
And she's like not saying it. Just fully in the chef outfit.
She's like, don't come back until you've like had something to eat. Get this out of your system.
Gonna give you some Parmesan. Tell me when. Tell me when.
Say when. Say when.
Because we started talking about like we went to this place where like the chef, it was a stir fry place, and the chef was this fat Asian guy with like a thick Creole accent, and he's like making all these sexual innuendos to my girlfriend. He's like, open your mouth, gotta throw an egg in there. He's like keep quiet. But when I originally told the story to somebody, I forgot to tell them that he was a stir fry chef. So I was like, yeah, the chef comes down to the restaurant and just like making people made it sound like the way I told, I think were you there when I was talking to Eli about it? I was like, it sounded like we're just in a nice restaurant and this fat Asian Creole guy is just like, open your mouth, sweetheart, I got something special for you.
I mean, the fact that it's a stir fry restaurant doesn't change much for me.
For me, I'm like, it's fun.
Wait, like a
he's
hibachi?
actually harassing my girlfriend. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hibachi, but yeah, stir fry could just be like we're in line and he's
he
doing
just,
stuff.
yeah, he
They
should
have stir
be
fry
doing
on
that.
the menu.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, when you were a DJ, did you have a mic too? So you'd be like, let's get it fucking started.
I was always so scared. Every time I did, I would write jokes before about the rival team. I'm like, hey, Goodrich, how about you get your tractors? Because they were a farming community. And then I would be so
Your
scared.
voice is cracking on
Yeah,
these listeners.
exactly. And I would just be drowned out, and I would be so
Goodrich, more
embarrassed.
like Ban Rich.
Yeah, exactly. Who wants Mo Bamba?
I hate DJ. There was this. We went to go, and we were in Austin. We did this thing called Cutthroat Karaoke, and so what it is if you're bad, they
cut your throat.
they cut you, and they were just like. It's like white guy with like long earrings, kind of doing a black accent. He's like, "Yo, this ain't like typical karaoke." And then there's this woman wearing like a hoodie, and she's like, "Yeah, but like honestly, like just have good vibes." And he's like, "Yeah, if you get cut, like don't be personal about it. You know, it's all about your energy and stuff like that." And we're like, "This is like the most annoying guy I've ever met in my life." And we're just like, I was just picturing him at a party, just like, "Yo, bro, I don't got like a real issue with you, but like your energy is off a little." Just like the most annoying Austin guy. But some guy went up and did my favorite thing. He had "In the Club" by 50 Cent, and before the verse started, he started freestyling and got cut immediately. He's this white guy, and he's just like, "Oh, my fucking haters out there, you fucking hate me," and everybody's like, "Get off the fucking stage!" And the whole place was just going like this,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't get off the stage, and he's just like, "Yeah, this is my time to shine. Y'all just don't even know when you're in the presence of greatness."
You ever have a battle rap face? You seem like that kind of guy.
Bad
Sort of.
rap phase? No. I'm waiting for the right moment.
We had, and when I was in like 5th grade, we would write battle raps for each other. And I was a writer, but I wasn't a performer.
That's so fucking lame. It's lamer than being a performer.
I was like a Jewish writer for Tyson Davis back in the 5th grade.
Nice.
Like, bro, call his girl flat. meanwhile, we're all 12 years old.
Yeah.
My friend was telling me that when he was in high school, he was like, "Yo, when you were in high school, did you and your boys ever do like gay bars?" And I was like, "Did we like go to a gay?" Like, I was like, "No, we never did that."
Yeah.
He was like, "What, did they like let you in or something?" He's like, "No, it's like a rap battle, but you're just talking about being gay. That's all the rap."
That sounds like what I do
Oh,
now.
gay bar.
As an
I know.
adult.
And I was like, "Oh, I mean, still, I didn't do that." And he was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I had he had this one friend who was like nasty with gay bars, and then any other subject he could not rhyme." That's they'd like try to like it'd be at a party and be like, "Yo, like you rap for everyone." Like, this guy's so good, and he'd try. And he's like, "Dude, I can only do this about gay shit." Like, why is that? That doesn't make any sense. Or you just sit at home and write gay raps?
Well, it's funny too because it's like in my mind when you said it, like I got what you were saying because you were talking about rap. I was like, okay, so gay bars, but I don't picture him rapping. I picture it still being in the conversation of rap battling, which is funny to like nag him. Like, I bet you couldn't even make a man come. Like, yeah, your asshole so loose it wouldn't even get me hard.
Maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't really
Just like battle
understand.
rapping, but just negging. Like
It's the end of 8 Mile.
Yeah.
Yo, everybody who wants to fuck me. I wish I had a freestyle
Damn,
right away.
You choked, dude.
I choked
You
so
choked.
hard.
Yeah.
Like
When was the last time you watched
Anthony
8 Mile?
Recently.
It's the best movie ever made. I love it.
I like it a lot, dude. It really motivates me. And I attach everything to comedy. I'm like, this is so like me with my career. It's nothing like it at all.
I had a
This
friend-
morning I jerked off in a hooded sweatshirt because it's too cold in this apartment. That was the most 8 Mile thing I've done, just wearing the hood.
I was wondering where you've been jerking off since you worked here.
right here, and I'm just cold. You look no more like a sex criminal when you're jerking off in a hoodie. You're just like,
Oh yeah, and people could probably see you through those
oh
windows.
fuck.
Like,
Okay,
really.
well they don't know what I look like. So to be fair, it's a tie-dyed hoodie, so it's so like they see me walk. It's like bright orange.
That's like 8 Mile. Almost exactly. But he wore I had a phase of wearing a beanie with a hooded thing over it.
Oh my god.
And that was pretty sweet.
There's a dude in my high school who he's my friend, and he saw
Was your
8 Mile.
boyfriend? Gay idiot.
He like
Thanks, bro.
loved
Thanks for
8
coming on.
Mile.
Killing it on the pod.
Yeah.
He saw it when he was like 15, and it was like he loved it. And for the entire time I knew him, he called me Cheddar Bob.
Yeah.
As that guy, and he'd always talk about it. He's like, we're just like 8 Mile. I'm like, we're not at all.
We're nothing like that. Yeah.
None of us rap.
Damn, he made you the
We're not
retarded
Draven.
friend.
Yeah, he made me that guy.
Kind of look like Cheddar Bob a little bit.
No,
if you
not
look
at
him.
all.
Yeah,
Pull up a
Cheddar
picture, I
Bob is
swear
the
to God.
coolest name for anyone in that.
Yeah.
You want to be Rabbit? Be Rabbit?
What about Papa Doc?
But yeah, Papa Doc's cool. But
Lickety
Papa
split.
Doc chokes though.
After years of being number one.
Cheddar Bob also shoots himself in the foot
It was in the dick, wasn't it?
or
No, it was
in
in the
like the leg or
In the
something.
leg, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And his leg was
Split
his
the
own
difference
gun.
somewhere on the leg.
Yeah.
I honestly, since you've been in here, I've been like wondering.
Where I'm jerking off.
Where you jerking off.
Every day you're in your room, like Jake's probably writing bits and stuff like that. He's like, where is he doing it? Because his showers aren't as long as they should be. Dude, I had the saddest thing when I was staying with my friend in Austin. I was rapping, like Infamous is my favorite rapper. He's this like he's this fat black dude. Obviously,
Obviously black.
yeah, but he's always this shirtless guy, which I would say the only place I agree with black privilege is fat black dudes because they look so much cooler than fat white dude. Like it is not like a shirtless fat black dude who's tatted up looks fucking badass. Like especially if he's rapping. But I'm just rapping in my room so much. My roommate's like the guy I'm staying with is like, oh, my roommates are never home. So just like, don't worry about anything. Like they're always working. And it was like a Tuesday. So I'm rapping in the room and I just start bawling my eyes about my breakup. So I'm like crying on the floor. I think I was listening to, Heartbreaks of the I start crying. And then I hear the guy go out to do laundry and I'm like, fuck, dude. He just heard me rap for like an hour straight in the room and then just start crying to the script.
Wrap yourself into tears.
Yeah.
But he was probably listening, like, he's getting somewhere.
Yeah.
He had a breakthrough.
Rapping at tears to be funny. Just like, I'm on the top. Ain't no bitch gonna say no to me. It's my bitch. One of the funny things I saw, dude, I remember I was in high school one time and I saw this kind of like Mexican dude from the streets, or maybe probably Puerto Rican. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But he's looking in the mirror and he's almost crying, singing "Young and Wild and Free" by. I swear to God, the guy's looking in the mirror and goes, "Roll one, smoke one, and we live like we're supposed to party." And it's just me. I don't know if he didn't see me, but it's like the most clear memory in my head is guy just like, and we all just having fun. He's like staring eye to eye with his reflection in the bathroom.
Bro, just like some 55-year-old homeless guy on his third floor level. So what? We get drunk.
We're just kids. We're kids.
We're kids having fun.
Yeah.
I remember guys getting really emotional to the Paul Walker song.
Oh, yeah.
It's
When I
been a long day.
Dude, those are so fun. This is so unrelated, but my I do think people like ruin their lives to music. Sometimes they're like, bro, it's Kid Cudi. We're having fun, and then like they develop like a pill addiction, or something like that.
Oh, that was big with Juice World in my
Oh,
like,
yeah.
era, my
Yeah,
generation.
yeah.
But there's kids who would just like post pictures of like 3 Xanax and be like, "I'm going to space today." And then 2 of them died, and then one just got really fat. Xanax makes you fat.
Well, it makes you lazy, so it makes you
Yeah.
fat. And I've always said this: like Xanax is great if you're crushing it in life. Like I'll take Xanax. I've been pretty good recently. Like I've been sleeping on an air mattress. Like there was like this is my 5th week. The first 3 weeks I would like cycle. So I'd be like, okay, I'll drink for 2 nights. I'll smoke weed one night, and then one night I'll take like a little bit of Klonopin or Xanax, and then the next night I'll take like a little bit of over-the-counter sleep stuff. It was really like not a healthy thing. But the last couple nights I've slept great. But what was the point of what I was saying?
I think it's
Just proud of myself for not being a drug
Are
addict.
you doing all right, bro?
No, now I'm doing now.
Oh, I thought you meant it was like
Real
the
low bar.
post-breakup.
Yeah, but wait.
Such a low bar to be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Sleeping on an air mattress in my friend's living room. Hey, I'm not addicted to Xanax.
Yeah. Well, dude, I told you that happened to my friend.
I'm killing it.
I took Xanax and I was drinking beer on my buddy's floor, and he took a pot brownie and started like freaking out. And I'm literally sleeping, not even on an air mattress, on the floor. And I was like, dude, honestly, you got to just relax, man. And, you kind of need to put things into perspective a little bit. And I realized I'm like, dude, I'm literally like drinking on Xanax, giving this guy advice. I was like on the floor. I'm sleeping on the fucking floor. I don't have a day job. I don't have a home. I don't have a girlfriend. I'm just high on Xanax and drinking a Bud Light. Like, man, you really just, it's really about, making time for yourself to be proud of yourself. It's just fucking... But it was really funny the way, for people listening, Tony Wellens last week, this guy, he comes up, he picks me up. We're in Austin and we're driving around in the car. He goes, "Dude, I just got in from Denver, bro. The guy at the weed store, he like told me these edibles are great. They won't give me any of the anxiety and stuff like that. And he's like, it's really cool. You can just go into a store and get like exactly what you want. Because I don't like getting paranoid, but this stuff's really good. Do you want one?" I was like, "No, thank you." We start driving down the road. He goes, "Yeah, I can't breathe right now, man." He's like, "I can't." I'm like, "You're just high, dude." He's like, "No, we got to pull over, man." He like pulls over and gets water after just bragging about how, how good the weed is. But and then he's like, I freaked out because I took 3 of them. He's like, "I'm just gonna take 1 now." I'm like, "Dude, you're gonna have a bad. Just don't do it." He's like, "Nah, dude." That's when he freaked out. But
I've taken Xanax a couple times for like because I was like having a panic attack, and I was I need to do something to calm down. I took Xanax, and every time I've been like, I can never do this when I'm not in need of it because it's the perfect. This is exactly how I want to feel all the time.
Yeah, you don't give a fuck about anything.
It's
so like, if your life's
amazing.
going great, it's amazing because you're like, "Oh, okay, I'm really stressed. I'll take the edge off." But if you're a loser, and you take Xanax, you won't care about being a loser, which is the big problem. You're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna play video games all day and then order Chipotle." And like,
or if you take it for a medical reason,
Yeah.
you're like pretending that's not part of why that exists.
It's really not though, because like I have anxiety. Like I get it if you're like on the verge of killing yourself or something like that. But like genuinely, like I have panic attacks and like I will rarely like I'll take things to sleep. Like if I haven't slept in like 3 days, and I'm like, I'll take a Klonopin. But it's like
that's the thing, yeah.
The whole concept though that you're like, oh, it's like no, the whole point of anxiety medicine is to take it for a short period of time, and then like you're supposed to learn how to deal with panic attacks outside of that.
For sure, but like it's like one of those things. Like, and I haven't taken it in probably like 4 years.
Yeah.
But like having like a hyperventilating panic attack for like too long a period of time, and I'm like, I'm gonna just be awake forever.
Yeah.
Unless I do something right now.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. You ever had a panic attack where you went to the hospital?
No.
Anything like that? I was just like hyperventilating once, and I went to the hospital because I thought I had like vape disease. It was like when all those people were dying from
like
vape.
You somehow
Popcorn
made it
lung.
lamer than going to the hospital for anxiety.
I went to the hospital. I'm like hyperventilating, and the doctor comes in, and she was like a really hot woman doctor,
Yeah.
and it's like the ER too. So she's like, "There's a guy here who just cut his own arm off."
Yeah.
He's like, "I fucking don't need this shit."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I'm pretty sure I have like vape disease." And she was like, she just gave me Xanax, and she was like, "Get the fuck out of here right now." I'm so mad.
Yeah, I got fucking fat cloudsitis.
This is my rig.
Yeah.
Giant tube case.
Yeah. Well, those are
It's still sick.
yeah. Well, that was the funniest thing because the Xanax guy, it's a combo, right? It's a guy who does Xanax. He's always dabbing, and there's just fast food rappers all over. Like I had friends that were so into Xanax, and it was like you go to their apartment, and it was just like a giant bowl of ash, just like so much ash. I'm like, you might as well just have a giant dumpster because this is like so much, and then just rappers all over the place, and playing a video game, and then playing like Juicy J in the background, and I would just come by and just be hours of that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got friends like that too, and I'm just like, it feels rough to say because of your friend, but you're like, dude, you're like a loser.
Yeah. It's
This
like
is
it's not
awful.
even like I have friends that are like coke heads. They'll get drunk, and I'm like, ruin your life in that way. Like do that aspect of it where you're actually making legendary stories. Now you're just like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I just like being barred out playing video games in my
Yeah,
apartment.
go
It's just
go
like,
party
come
out,
on.
drive a car or something. You know,
Yeah.
do something meaningful with your life.
Drink, take Xanax, and drive a car, bro. Be a man.
yeah. Be an adult. Yeah. This is totally unrelated. I saw the funniest thing on the fucking airplane. There was this bald guy with a Blue Lives Matter shirt watching Top Gun on the plane with no headphones on, and he's just blasting Top Gun Maverick. And the flight attendant asked him 5 times to turn it down. It was the funniest thing. She goes, he's just like this fat, bald, like middle-aged man. She goes, "Sir, you got to turn down." I was like, "Thank you so much for asking." And he goes, "I'm sorry about that." And then he'd slowly turn it back up. It'd just be like, "I'm not my father." And he's like, "Yeah, but I was friends with your father, and I'm going to make sure that you don't go down the same path."
The flight attendant walks away, and he slowly like puts on Top Gun glasses.
But it's like a plane. It's like what we're doing here, so it's the same.
Sir, you're gonna have to turn it down. I'll turn it down if you let me in the cockpit. let me meet the pilot. Let me meet the pilot.
Oh my god.
You ever been in the cockpit of the plane?
No.
I guess after
When I was
9/11,
little,
don't
they
do
let
that.
me in.
You like movies about gladiators? Have you seen a grown man naked? Ever seen Airplane?
I've never seen Airplane.
Of course, yeah.
I
That's-
saw
I
Gut.
love that part. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah. You ever been in a Turkish prison?
Yeah. God damn. But the crowds were so funny too, because like Austin crowds were like they wanted like wild stand up. Like I was like watered down for them, which I was so not used to in New York City. And they were like bored
Yeah.
with me talking about banging a trans woman. They're like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like this is like
Yeah.
where here I'm like, oh, I gotta navigate this. I'm so cunty here. I'm like a little edgy. I'm like,
That's
I'm gonna,
crazy because when I was in Austin, I did a show where I like said the word retarded
yeah,
and it got like a medium response.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, that joke does really well, like everywhere. And then I got off stage and Eli was sitting in the back of the room and he was like, dude, when you said retarded, he's pointed at a couple. He's like, that guy turned to his girlfriend and he goes, he said the R word.
Really?
And I was like, we're in Austin, Texas right now. Are you kidding me?
That's when did you go?
Like during the lockdown.
Yeah. I
This is a little
think Joe
different
Rogan
there.
came there and just like converted the whole town.
Yeah.
Now the whole town is like just like
Yeah, it's
fucking
just cowboys.
And
Yeah.
woke.
yeah. And even like the liberal people there like are like having fun with like the crazy stuff. But it was such a wild adjustment because I was like, oh, they're bored of this subject matter. And like I had to go harder than
Yeah.
I never like to pander too hard. Like I'm still like, no, I'm gonna do like if I hear they're kind of like edgy, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do my more progressive bits because I like doing stuff like that where I'm like, but then
I get bored of that. I don't get offended by comedy really
yeah,
ever, but I'm just like I get bored of like someone just saying the most crazy vile stuff. I'm like
And then
I get
justifying
it.
it.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
near miss comedy.
Or not even justifying it, just like even if it's like a solid bit, I'm like after 10 minutes of it, I'm like I get it. This is you went as far as you could go.
Yeah.
That's the
Well, that's why I
crux
didn't
of all
wanna-
these jokes.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't want to like. I tried to adjust accordingly. So I was like, okay, I just won't do all the stuff that preps them for the joke. Because like sometimes you're like, all right, well, if I'm doing like have a joke about a baby funeral, like sometimes I'll say some things.
Yeah,
to
I
sort of-
hate baby funerals. Let me get it started.
Yeah. I just cut all that. I was like, I'm still gonna do the joke, but I'm not gonna go over and then now be like fucking only talking about pedophiles and
You
stuff.
like them in the baby funeral business, making them happen.
Yeah. That wasn't the funniest response I got to that bit. This woman, I did like a brewery in Tallahassee. This woman was like, I love the baby rape joke. I was like, what? She goes,
Not what it was.
I was like, you were not listening at all to what I was saying. It's about me attending a baby. No babies were raped. What are you talking about?
Or she just heard baby and was like, this is going to be funny.
I know where this is going.
I bet he's going to talk about baby rape.
I was like, even for me, that's a wild. I'm not taking on premise like that. It's fucking insane.
Bro, I have about like 30 notes in my notes app that are just titled baby rape. Baby.
Well, it's like
What if baby raped?
this episode's gonna get flagged. But yeah, what was it? Yeah, no, it's like, and then what's it called? Chattanooga was totally different. It was like they were like, I think the Dylan Mulvaney thing like got people like, because I've always done that bit about banging a trans woman in the South, and they've always like kind of like liked the bit. They're like, oh, it's funny that you did. Like they're like,
yeah.
and then they were just like they were getting like like a little uncomfortable at first, and I was like, what? I was like, it was very interesting to see, and I was like, I didn't get this response until the Dylan Mulvaney. I was like, it's.
Wait, so you think that they
Dude, I think they were like under attack. Like I was talking to somebody down there that was just like they were getting a Bud Light or they were drinking a Coors. They're like, yeah, no, I'd never go back to Bud Light after what happened. And one of the comics, the headliner, had this joke about Joe Biden, and then they were getting like excited, like they were like I could see this woman like moving. She go and then her husband would be like, stop, don't. He goes and he goes stop, and he goes and his son's a pedophile. And I was like, why'd you have to yell that in the show right now?
I thought, the sense I get sometimes from crowds like that is like you do a joke that's like what you assume is their beliefs.
Yeah.
And it might be, but they're just like, we're also like intelligent
human
people.
beings?
Yeah.
Like we can just laugh at jokes. You don't
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
like pander to us.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
They get like, it's like
people-
annoying.
Yeah, but that's why I'm a douche and I'll go kind of the other way. Like no matter what I think they are, I'm like, I'm gonna try this one. Which is like I'm never trying to offend them, but I'm like, let me see if I can like pull. I'm never like I want people to have a bad time, but I'm like, let me see. And I have such a fear of pandering that I sometimes go the other way where I'm like, all right, what do you guys not like? I'm gonna try to talk about that and see if it'll work.
I
Yeah.
pander so hard. I love it.
Really?
No, I don't just want to say something.
Well, thank you for understanding the point of the show. Some people get on the podcast, they're like, I'm just not gonna say anything. Just fill the airspace.
Well, I'm nervous because it's like you guys are seasoned veterans of the Michael Good pod, and I'm here, lucky 20-year-old.
You've been there since it was the ground floor. Look at how far we've come. We got box lights.
Yeah, this is crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's out of control.
Look how far we've come. You are homeless.
Jacking off in a hooded sweatshirt in his living room.
Started from the bottom, now I'm here.
Yeah, I was on the road with another comedian
Yeah.
for like 4 weeks once, and for the first like 2.5 weeks of the trip, we were like sleeping in the same room every night.
Yeah.
And so I didn't jerk off like the whole time. I was just
Yeah.
like that. And then we got to Austin where we had in an Airbnb that had 2 rooms. So I slept
Yeah.
in my own room. And later that night we were at dinner. I was like, man, when we got to the Airbnb, I was like, oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna jerk off. I just took a nap and jerked off. It was great.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've been jerking off the whole time.
Yeah.
I was like, really? Like where? And he's like, just anytime you were like turned away. I was just like in the bathroom or whatever. And I was like, fuck Jesus, dude.
Dude, it's not good. I had a similar. I took this road trip. Now that the guy's gonna know who he is. Now that I'm just saying this, whatever. We took a road trip to Alabama, from Florida State to Alabama, and we're staying on a friend's couch. And both of us were out drinking all night. And this is the guy who gave me a ride to Alabama. And I'm jerking off in the morning, and he turns around and like makes eye contact with me, and then goes back. And I was like, all right, I gotta stop jerking off. But he for sure just saw me just like viciously jerking off, because I was like, it was like 7 a.m. I'm like, everybody's passed out. I'm like, he's not gonna wake up till noon, and I had nowhere else to go. And I have to kind of be jerking off in a laying down position. I don't know, it's a weird thing, but it just sucked because then I had like a 3-hour car ride back with this guy, and both of us are just like, come on, man. Like I was like, I'm on your team too, man. I shouldn't have been.
I don't know. I don't have. If I walk in on someone jerking off, I'll just be like, oh, whoops, sorry. I don't like, it's not like unless you're doing it weird.
Ew.
Yeah. The fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop hurting yourself.
Yeah.
If you're like punching yourself in the dick, I'll be like, later on in the night, I'll be like, hey, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I have a friend,
What's
his
that
brother
about?
walked in and I'm jerking off. He started crying. He goes, what were you doing? You were hurting yourself like that. He's like, what were you doing to it?
How much of it did he see?
I don't know, because it's like, I think it's a really terrifying thing, because you just see like a
Yeah,
blank look in somebody's
goblin.
eyes, and they're like,
Oh,
yeah, when someone is jerking off and they think they're completely alone.
yeah, it's the most vicious look. Like, you literally look like you're like, it's so tribal, or not tribal, but like, what's it called? Like, primal.
Primal.
Yeah. You're just like,
yeah, you're just like biting yourself on your fucking chest. And
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
It's not a pleasant thing to see.
No,
scratching.
But
Yeah.
it's also like, it's like I walked in and you like taking a piss. It's like, I know how it is.
Well, and the hard part is your brain always reacts. I've been walked in on twice pissing recently, and it's like, people, it always takes a second for
I
somebody.
fucking walked in on me pissing last night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes it takes a second for your brain to realize what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just like, oh yeah, I'm in here. Yeah.
I hate fucking, I mean, I live with Eli here, and I'll hear him come, I'll be taking a shit, and I'll just hear him walk out of his room. And I'm like, oh, Eli's like getting some water or something. And I'll just hear his footsteps. And then I realize he's about to open the bathroom door, like when his hand is on the handle.
Yeah.
So I just start talking, and he doesn't, he's like on his phone. He'll open the door and just look at me. I'm just like,
Yeah. No, it's yeah. No, the worst of those people that will just not accept that the door's locked. They're like taking a shit in somewhere, and they're like banging, and they're like open. They're like, dude, please stop.
Eli walked in on me jerking off, I think, like within like a month of us living together,
Yeah.
which was almost 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
He has not opened my door since. Doesn't even knock on it.
Yeah,
If he
yeah.
wants my attention, he'll call me from the kitchen.
Yeah.
Do you have a particularly like gruesome jerking off face?
Situation? No.
What do you look
He
like?
probably didn't even see my face.
Could you show me?
I'm
your-
facing this way, and my door opens that way.
Could you just,
My
can we-
face?
can you just take
It's
a-
like this.
Can we see you do it with your hands?
Could I suck
Can you-
your dick?
He
Could I
didn't
just-
pick up for a second. He's like, yeah, that's how I jerk off. Dude, I had one of the worst conversations with my dad recently. So I was talking on podcasts like when I was a kid, I'd fuck like toys in the house. I tried to fuck this one life-size Barbie head one time. Anyways,
What?
It's the guests have
Do
heard
they
it.
make those?
The listeners, they've heard it. Let's just move on.
Okay, sorry.
My dad's
They
talking.
love me.
They trust me. They love hearing it. It's the favorite thing. But my dad like listens to my podcast, and he heard about me doing it, and my grandparents listened to it. They hated it. They were grossed out. And then my dad, me and my dad are on like a long walk through the forest in our family house. We have like a family house in Tennessee, and it's like beautiful. The leaves are falling, and he's like, I was watching Eddie Murphy, and he has this bit about putting toys up his ass, and he's very charming about it. There's something kind of like, are you literally lecturing me right now about how my bits about having sex with toys are not as good as Eddie Murphy's? I was like, you could have just never talked about this again. And for you to now, I was like, really, like, my feelings were hurt because it was like, not even like he was like, yeah, there was a gross topic. It's disgusting. He's like, Eddie Murphy can do that, but you can't talk about it because
you'd much rather him be like, that was gross, than you'd be like, your skill as a comedian is
I was like,
where
what are
it
we
should
talking
be.
about? It was just like a nice walk through the woods, and I was like, God damn it! It was also funny too because I'm like, also I try to argue the point. I'm like, well, that's not your son. When you hear your son talking about something, it's going to sound disgusting. Versus Eddie Murphy talking about it, you're like, oh, that's a fun comedian. I was like, same with the reason why a woman in a bikini looks good, but if your daughter's in a bikini, it looks disgusting. And he's like, yeah, I think it's just more the charm. I'm just like, oh God.
That's a
Damn, your
bizarre
dad just fucking
conversation,
hates you, dude.
Yeah, he loves me, but I was like, you're
just
not
kind of ugly and awful. I hate you.
Yeah, try a bright leather red suit when you do it. Try being in an arena full of people. Yeah, it's more charming when you're a hilarious black man who's one of the best stand-up comedians. We're at an hour. What do you guys want to promote?
I have nothing going on in my life.
Okay.
Yeah, gotta follow Abe though.
Follow me at Abe Shaps.
Yeah, he's really a funny comedian.
I'm the
You should
funniest
follow
guy
him.
here by far.
He's so enthusiastic. He's really funny. He's great.
Yeah, I invited him. He's
I'm
not
sorry.
doing good, so I'm trying to.
I'm not doing well.
Oh, you did well on the podcast.
Don't patronize me.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see why.
You fucking mummy.
Yeah.
You see why he doesn't get more of these opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of blows it.
It's a real ray of sunshine.
It's like there's lights here, and he sees these lights, and it means nothing to him that I have box lights. He's like, oh yeah, what about you in the corner and vape?
No, I don't like Jake, but I appreciate.
Yeah,
you
of course,
having me
dude.
on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Oh, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, Michael Good Comedy is my Instagram, and I also have older episodes on Spotify and Apple. Thank you.